Yo, very rarely do we see guys come in and take over a whole division by storm. We've seen it with guys like Alex Pereira and Hamza Chimaev causing massive superstars because nobody likes a fighter more than when they're clearing out a division and seem unbeatable. We've also seen it backfire though with guys like McGregor and Alex Pereira once they finally take their first L. Alex Pereira is not getting as much interaction as he was on social media now that he lost the belt to Ank. And who else has taken over a division by storm? Who else was fighter of the year last year, 2024, besides Alex Pereira? Well, I'm talking about the man Ilia Topuria. Now, I think that Ilia's kind of done this to himself. Ilia definitely has put himself in this situation where, man, if he loses, it's going to be the biggest piece of humble pie ever. After talking the game that he talks and then doing what he did to Volk and Max, there was no way, like, I understand why he moved up. I mean, I'm sure the weight cut also was draining for sure, especially for a guy like Topuria. But he's put himself in this situation where he can't fight guys like Diego Lopez or especially not guys like Mavs or Evloev. Like, he just can't do that. He also tried to rename himself the Legend, which if he goes on to knock out like Charles and something else, like, yeah, he's definitely on his way to be like becoming that. So it's almost like he's predicting his own career. But yeah, I mean, after wins like that, how can you go back to fighting Diego Lopez or just an average guy like a Bryce Mitchell or a Josh Emmett? But even in the ways that he destroys them, it's not like we want to see him against these normal contenders anymore because we know that he just ragdolls them or fucks them up. So yeah, I mean, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier, like these are the fights to make for Ilia Topuria now. I mean, Dustin Poirier is on his last one, but that's the fight that I wanted to see originally when he went up to 155 was Dustin Poirier versus Ilia Topuria. I think that would have been hand central, but I just think that he's in one of these positions where it can completely backfire for him. If he loses to Charles by sub, and you guys know how Ilia Topuria is, he's going to talk this whole big game. He probably is going to knock out Charles, I'm not going to lie, but I think he's just in this situation where, like, how long can you stay undefeated? I do think he's going to retire in the next couple of years if he does stay undefeated. I think if he beats Charles, maybe gets like one or two more, he'll probably fight Patty, then he'll maybe fight. The Islam thing is so up in the air right now, I don't even know my own opinion on it. So yeah, I think he'll retire if he wins the next like 3 or 4, but also I think if he loses, I think it's an instant retirement because, like I said, it's going to be the biggest piece of humble pie that I don't think that he's going to want to eat. But who knows, maybe he's not going to be like a Dustin Poirier, maybe he will be like pretty graceful in defeat. That's yet to come. Not only does he have to win, I think he has to win against the biggest names in the sport. I just don't know how long that's sustainable. Like, how long can you run into these legends before one of them catches you? And I know, especially at 155, a lot of the era is kind of on their way out. Charles is like 35. I think Dustin's literally on his way out. Justin's got 1 or 2 more in him. Chandler's not even a top guy anymore, so let's not even talking about him. I think Islam's fairly young. Islam's about 33, I think 32, 33. I don't know, maybe not all of them are fading out, and Armis Sarukian's young as fuck, and he's right there. I think he's like 29. He's like right there, maybe on the cusp of 30 or something like that. But it's guys like that, just like, even with Dustin being on his way out, we saw what he did to Benoit Saint Denis. Still knockout power. Still took Islam to the 5th round. We've seen. I mean, Charles is obviously one of the best lightweights ever too. He's nothing to fucking play with. Gaethje's still a hard hitter. Still went to decision with Fiziev, technique for technique. He still got it. I know that those guys are kind of like the older guys, but how long can you keep fighting them until somebody catches you? It's the fight game, man. Anything can happen, even if it's a fluke or if it's technique for technique and somebody sees an opening in Ilia Topuria. Gene Silva was saying that he found the openings in Ilia Topuria and he could break down the game better than anyone and blah, blah, blah. But really, I just don't know if I believe it. I know that they have the fighting nerds have that little analyst motherfucker with them, but don't know. I think Ilia Topuria is striking some of the best right now. Maybe only comparable to like maybe a Peter Yan or JDM or something like that. But not comparable, obviously not style-wise. I just think with like the effectiveness as the hands, I think that's where they are comparable. And then I think his ground game too is like good. He has that good ass Greco-Roman where I don't know about his jiu-jitsu. I know it's good, but I don't think it's like world class. I think Charles will have the advantage in that. But I think the Greco-Roman versus Jiu-Jitsu will be good enough to kind of negate. Charles obviously isn't going to take him down. I think he'll have like a better sprawl game. I think he'll be able to spread his hips better. But yeah, Charles is also the bigger lightweight, so I'm pretty sure that he'll have a weight advantage here. So maybe he can kind of use his weight to get him off the fence, maybe or something like that. But guys will like to counter after a 1-2 because that's usually what guys will only throw. But he'll throw like a 1-2, 1-3-5. Like he'll throw combos like that. I think that will definitely help him in the Charles fight. But nonetheless, man, I think Ilia's backed himself up in this corner where it's legends or nothing, and these legends aren't jokes, man. These legends aren't Bryce Mitchell or Josh Emmett. It's just how long is this shit sustainable? I don't know, man. But yeah, this is gonna be a really fast video. I'm really not gonna try to waste too much time on this shit. It's just this is how I think Ilia Topuria's situation is going. I think that he's put him here, and I think that we've seen this shit backfire before with guys like McGregor and Alex Pereira right now. Like I said, he's still a superstar for the UFC fans, but he was like a global smash hit, and now it's like, bro, I was having homies that don't even watch the UFC that aren't interested in this shit at all post the Alex Pereira win over Yuri Prohaska the second time or whatever, and the Jamal Hill win, like on their stories. They don't even watch this fucking sport, but he was a global hit like that, you know what I mean? And I think Ilia Topuria is somehow on the cusp. I actually don't know how he's like not like an Alex Pereira yet, Maybe it's because he's not like stone face or whatever, and he's a little more like charismatic on the mic type shit. But yeah, I think he's like pretty much in the same situation. I think if he loses, I think it's raps for him, dog. Especially if he loses in like a not dominant fashion, but you know, if like Charles just subs him, like just gets him down, subs him, doesn't even like let him strike, or same thing with Makhachev. Makhachev, if he just has his way with him, then I think that just derails the train for Ilia Topuria. And bro, like I said, not gonna waste too much time on this. I just think Ilia Topuria has backed himself up against this wall where he has to fight the best fighters and beat them in the best way possible. I mean, he has to do it in the best fashion, because now I feel like if Ilia Topuria goes to decision now, I mean, unless it's like a Josh Emmett performance, I feel like if he goes to decision now, I feel like that's just as bad as losing almost, you know? He's set himself up so high that now he has to perform like that every fucking time, and that's just not sustainable up against the guys he's facing. I think he's capable of doing some crazy things, like, especially to like guys like Charles Oliveira. Even a Dustin Poirier, I think would have been a good boxing match, but I think he would have probably KO'd Poirier. I think he's very capable of doing these things. I just don't know how long he can keep this shit up, man. You can't do this shit forever. But yeah, bro, like I said, that's it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this shit. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.